NBA fans, we had some comments that came out regarding LeBron James and his legacy when it comes to the standing of him versus Michael Jeffrey Jordan. We're going to let y'all know where the comments came from and how does it affect LeBron James' legacy right after this.
Thank you for tuning in to the number one place for your basketball fix, NBA Central, hosted by the Cognac Boys.
Welcome back to another episode of NBA Central. I'm Bobby. That's Cdub. We in the building. How you doing, my guy?
I'm feeling great, man. Let's get to it.
For real. If y'all like what y'all listening to today, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. You can follow the show right there on all social media platforms at NBA Central Pod. If you ain't know, we the Cognac Boys, by the way. But hey, Cdub. John Starks, he did an interview and the topic came up surrounding LeBron James and his legacy and how he stacks up versus others, and specifically Jordan. John Starks came out in one of his quotes during this interview. He said, LeBron is hurting his legacy by switching NBA teams so much that it will affect his standing when it comes to LeBron versus Jordan debates. He went on to say, Mike didn't move around. He wanted to play against the best. He felt like he didn't need to go chase players to join his team to beat the best because he felt like he was the best. And I think that's going to be the difference. Cdub, go ahead and take it away. How you feeling about the comments? And how do you feel like LeBron James moving around affects his legacy?
You gotta respect those comments from John Starks. This arch nemesis of Michael Jordan right here. I really think that if you watched the, I don't know, you wasn't alive, nephew, during those series with the New York Knicks and the Chicago Bulls, but it seemed like they really hated each other. The New York Knicks and the Chicago Bulls, and John Starks and Michael Jordan. Uh, they really seemed like they hate each other. Um, John Starks, I never took him as a liar or a bandwagon type player. I always took him for his word, and I'm gonna take him for his word on this take that he has. That doesn't mean that I'm going to agree with him. I do think that that move it, he had no choice because he's not Michael Jordan. I don't think he would at that point in time when LeBron James was playing with the Cleveland Cavaliers, his first stint in Cleveland. He didn't have enough to lead his team to the actual main goal of winning a championship trophy. I just believe that he had to go learn that from Dwayne Wade. Now, if you want to count that against him, you could count that against him. I know nephew's thinking like, "Damn, this is my uncle's opportunity to pile on LeBron, and he ain't piling on." But I'm gonna be objective, nephew. Just listen to me. Uh, Michael Jordan, he actually changed teams to the Washington Wizards. That's after when he was really competitive, but he did actually change teams. So I'm just gonna take that argument away. Uh, LeBron, I feel like he did need to change teams because he wasn't gonna be winning with the Cleveland Cavaliers, like I said a couple minutes ago.
Uh-huh.
Uh, um, does that affect his legacy? It doesn't affect his legacy to me because Michael Jordan is the greatest player of all time. Uh, Anybody do whatever they do. I respect anybody who does whatever they need to do to be the best. I respect LeBron James for going to play with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh, but don't come and tell me that he's better than Michael Jordan because he actually had to do that. I respect Kevin Durant if he goes and play with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson because that's what he felt he needed to do to be competitive to win an NBA championship. That's their choice. I'm not gonna disrespect them. They make up their own choice. What I'm gonna make their mind up for them, and then you're gonna count that against them. You're gonna count that against them, huh? Gonna
Right.
count it against them. They got rings. Who
For
cares?
sure. I mean, I respect it too. I'm with you on those lines too when it comes to John Starks. It's his opinion. You know what I'm saying? But I'm with you. I don't think the movement of LeBron James hurts his legacy simply because if you sitting there and you banging on somebody's door, for an analogy, if you banging on somebody's door and say, "Hey man, I just want a piece of bread. And they say no 10 times. You eventually gonna bust the window and take the bread, ain't you?
Oh, bro.
So you can eat. So you can't be starving.
Yep.
LeBron James, he came into this league being compared to Michael Jordan. However you want to dice it up, that's how you dice it up. If you put him at 1, you put him at 2. I seen people put him at 5. Some even put him at 7 and 8. That's their ranking. That's their respect. I think some people crazy if you don't have either him or Mike interchangeable at 1 or 2. You can take it however you want. But him moving around is something that has to be done nowadays because the players that remain loyal to organizations back in that time, they got screwed over by their ownership. Let's
Yeah.
keep it a buck. Charles Barkley screwed over.
Yeah.
Or you look at Patrick Ewing, somebody who remained loyal. You never won. So then your greatness, yes, we know that you were great. But what is the number one thing people gonna say? Man, he still ain't win a championship though. So these two guys, I know it's mostly about LeBron, but you mentioned Kevin Durant. These two guys are now at the table to where every basketball player aspires to be, and that's an
Yeah.
NBA champion. So you can't say it hurts his legacy. And me personally, is he right where he should be, and that's in the conversation at the very least.
And you know what's the biggest cap in the NBA world? When I hear these legends say, just because I didn't win the NBA championship doesn't mean I'm a great player.
It
It
is the
has
biggest cap.
nothing. It's the biggest cap. You're great, but it's a letdown.
Let me add
And
on
it's
to
a
that.
letdown within yourself. If you're a competitor and you're a hooper, you playing in the NBA to win a championship.
Facts.
Don't tell me you don't feel no type of regret or you feel some type of disappointment because you didn't get a trophy, bro. You
Can
can't
I
tell
add
me.
in one more cap? One of the
Yeah,
biggest caps I ever heard in my life. When
yeah.
Carmelo Anthony came out and said, "Yeah, I'm an Olympic gold medalist. That's greater than the NBA championship."
Cap.
Bullshit.
That's cap.
Bullshit.
That's
Yo,
cap.
you had every intentions on winning an NBA champion and holding that damn trophy in your hand. I almost said Vince Lombardi. My bad, y'all. That's football. Football season is upon us. That's why I just left it at the trophy. But oh yeah, hey, I was born. I was just on a combination of titty milk and Similac. Relax. I was
Oh,
born.
bro.
I was born by the river. but
I forgot.
but man, I just don't think that like I said, bro, the man's everybody gonna have their respective opinions. Some make sense, some are just crazy outliers, bro. This one, it's not an outlier, but I just don't agree with it. But
Yeah,
it's just his opinion. I don't think it's an outlier because I heard it before. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? They ask why he moved. Why didn't he stay and stick it out? And you know what I'm saying? Even when you look at two of the most recent winners in the NBA, Giannis and Joker, they say, man, they really stuck it out with their teams and they won. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? And
yeah,
you hold those people up to a different certain level because the way they did it, but they don't have to do it the same exact way as a Michael Jordan because it ain't, bro, there's no one greater than him in this sport.
no,
There's people you can get in a conversation. You might talk about it, might talk about LeBron, Kareem, et cetera, et cetera. But it's levels to this, man.
it is levels, and I got two statements to say. I think if he stays in Cleveland, he's never beaten Boston. He's never going to beat him. He's never going to beat Boston. And you know who's running in the same shoes as LeBron? Luka Doncic.
Mm,
Luka Doncic and LeBron James' path are so similar, bro. It's so similar to me. They both they got similar aspects to their game with
yep.
each other, but they so different as well. Because that
Mm-hmm.
just the athleticism, you could just say the
Yeah.
athleticism.
Facts.
But I think the team is built for, except for this team with Kyrie Irving. You know, it's a little different now for Luka Doncic. But I think he'll never excel until he joins somebody to let him know how to win in big games and in like championship series, bro. I think he
Right.
needs that player to come in that he respects because this kid been the best since he's 15.
Yeah.
LeBron was the best. I remember watching games of him in high school on ESPN. LeBron James. Now he think he better than anybody. Soon as he stepped to Cleveland, he better than anybody on the team. Soon as
Mm-hmm.
Luka come to Dallas, he better than everybody on the team. He went to Miami. He gotta slow his roll because Dwayne Wade right there.
Mm-hmm.
Luka need that same type of humbleness. I think he on the same path as LeBron James.
I think that's a fair comparison too. You know what I'm saying? Just to be honest, I think it's a fair comparison because when you look at both of their play styles, they're both ball dominant players who can get to the basket at will and they can make the pass. You know what I'm saying? Regardless on who has the better passing ability and who makes it look more effortless, that's a different discussion. But when you talk about it, and I know we can go ahead and nitpick between the two, but I could see that too because if Luka was in the Eastern Conference the year he made the Western Conference
Oh,
Finals, you can definitely argue that he would have been in the finals.
yo, he
LeBron,
eradicate the East.
you know what I'm saying? And LeBron James at 22, 23 years old was in his first finals. You know what
Oh,
I'm saying? So you could kind of see the similarities there for sure. I just think that right now, what's kind of like a hindrance on Luka per se is he in a way tougher conference, right now than LeBron
yes,
was at this same time of his career. And
yeah,
that's what's the biggest challenge because all the SARs are going
yeah.
over to the Western Conference Finals, building these crazy ass teams and trying to take over.
Oh, that's a great point, nephew. What if this man was drafted to an Eastern Conference team? Would he dominate the
What if he
East?
went to Atlanta instead of Trey?
I think he
Trey
would
made Eastern
dominate.
Conference Finals.
Yes, I think he would dominate the East. Like along the lines, maybe not 10 straight. What was it? 10 straight finals for LeBron?
Yeah, like 9, 10. Yeah.
9, 10. I don't think he get, but he'd go like five, miss a couple, then go to two. Not as much as LeBron, but I think he would dominate the East if he would have came to the. But this ain't about Luca. Forget Luca. Shout out to John Starks. You know how we could go on. We
Facts.
love the conversation talking about basketball, but I love to hear these legends coming in and putting they 2 cents into the conversation. I love it because people
Okay.
forget about how good John Starks was as a
Right.
basketball player.
Yeah, I mean, you can only respect it, man. And it's to me, whoever you play against, they gonna speak highly of you. They gonna hate you during the moment, but once they get to step back away from the game and they look at stuff and they evaluate things, they're gonna speak. If you show greatness like Michael Jordan did, they're gonna speak highly of you. And I think that's what's gonna right now. LeBron, he got to get that criticism because he's still an active player. But
Yeah,
once he retires, I believe that a lot of that criticism is
yeah,
definitely going to turn into some praise and talk about how he's missed in the game. Talk about how in certain things what he did during different situations in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? We already heard certain things when they came back from 3-1, how he was a very vocal player and talking about how he broke the Golden State Warriors before they eventually came back and captured the stuff. I think you started to hear more of those conversations later on for sure.
yeah. I would love to see when LeBron retires in the next 10 years. Uh, I love to see him and Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce in a room. Then I love to see him and Lance Stevenson in the room. These is like his real rivals throughout his
Mm-hmm.
career.
Him.
And Joakim in the room, even
Yep.
though I think they mended it a little bit. Some of his like rivals that he really hate.
Yeah.
Musin Mohammed, he pushed the shit out of Musin.
I mean, but yeah, if the list goes on, man, because you can go, hey, how do I mean, yeah, because look, if you think about it before we go, bro, look how his relationship that year in 2016 was with Draymond Green versus is now. Draymond Green always cheering for him and
Yes.
giving him his
Yeah.
kudos now, but back in 2016, he was a B naive.
Yes, he
Bro.
was. He called him that. He kicked him in the what so? He kicked him in the what souls?
You know what I'm saying? And honestly, the biggest conversation that I would love to hear between LeBron and somebody is LeBron and Kevin Durant, because how they was compared to each other all these years, bro.
I think they kind of cordial. I don't
They
think they like super
cordial, but
cool,
yeah,
but they
yeah,
competitive and cordial. I think
yeah.
so.
Agreed. But I would
Yeah,
just love to see them have a conversation, just a
I'm with you.
basketball conversation.
Oh yeah,
No type of hash out or anything like that, but just a basketball conversation to talk about different moments of, their careers facing off against each other. I think that shit, I think that'll be real cool. Kind of like how we had Shaq and Kobe come and squash the beef. I ain't saying they gotta come squash beef, but that basketball conversation is something fans live for, man.
oh, bro. Yeah, I agree with that, nephew. I agree with that, bro.
For sure.
That definitely would be entertaining to watch, bro. Especially with they basketball minds. I love hitting the story at like you like listening to Gilbert Arenas.
Yes.
You know
His
who the
show.
best story to
Wow.
Iman Shumpert is the best basketball story. If y'all ain't got a chance to listen to Iman Shumpert, he is a genius
He
talking
definitely
about
tell the
basketball.
stories. Hey, another one who up and coming, Jeff Teague, he got a good little
Jeff T,
he be funny, bro. He
I
funny
gotta
with
check Jeff
his.
Teague out for sure.
He funny with his. So,
Okay.
but get the people your final thoughts.
Hey man, Michael Jordan is one, LeBron is two.
This man. At the end of the day, look, man. John Starks, respect your opinion, but I don't think LeBron James moving around affects his legacy at
No,
all. It
no.
is what it is. He's in the conversation. To me, that's all that matters. You place him
Yeah.
wherever you want to place him at. It is what it is. But hey, thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of NBA Central. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and then hit the notification bell as we begin to ramp things up in preparation for training camp, preseason, and the regular season right here. Thank y'all. Catch y'all on the next one. We out this thing for sure.
This has been a presentation of the Breaks Media.